Even a real bear has no chance against this bear.
And if I just peed on the ground, that's all those fluids wasted.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 insane Bear Grylls moments.
Ugh.
For this list, we'll be looking at the ballsiest moments in the life of the British adventurer known as Bear Grylls, where he shows off his extraordinary survival skills and probably makes us cancel all outdoor activities for the weekend.
You can see his eyeball coming out.
Try not to be squeamish here.
Some of the videos are not for the faint-hearted, so please bear with us. Number 10. Bear versus yak.
The Tuvans are yak herders, and Sarat wants to show me how important yaks are to their survival in this barren land.
How about starting our first entry with a fantastic yakatizer? Sometimes you gotta drop the table manners to survive in the wilderness.
And what I'm going to do is see what I can then get out of that yak that I can use for survival.
Learning from the Tuvans, a Turek ethnic group in southern Siberia, Grylls goes raw when he's faced with a long-haired bovid known as a yak. Although they achieve a humane way to kill the poor fellow, Grylls takes his first bite, and you could say it's a bit cold-blooded, as he sucks the blood out of the yak.
Warm, salty. But if you hadn't came across this literally would save you.
But of course, the buck doesn't stop there with the bear, as he proceeds to skin the yak for his upcoming runway show. And he chows down on his next main meal, the liver and the eye.
I have no idea what this is going to taste like.
Number 9. Bear gone bear.
Okay, let's get into this.
By any chance, if you were in the Arctic and witnessed someone running naked, it was probably Bear Grylls.
This kind of survival is measured in seconds. It's agony on my bare skin, and even the camera has frozen.
The 4th season of Man vs. Wild starts off with Grylls doing some chilling stunts in the freezing barrens of the Arctic. He boldly traverses the Arctic River that is way below the temperature for prima donnas.
The ice block is still floating with all my gear, and is helping me struggle across a rocky bottom.
What's incredible about this scene is that he chooses to go in the freezing water chest deep with few camera cuts. Grylls really proves he has a thick skin and nothing to hide when it comes to survival.
If you black out here, you're dead.
Number 8. Escaping a train.
How on earth am I going to get over this lip?
How about Man vs. Wild and Machine?
Okay, it's officially time for a courage pill.
This episode starts off mild and sluggish as Grylls paraglides through the Rocky Mountains, where he makes a rough landing in the water. From there, he tries to find his way back to civilization, while doing some free running down the mountain, ziplining, and eating a few critters here and there.
I think I'm going to go for a swallow hole.
But just as the show is about to wrap up, it hits the fan when he enters a train tunnel without checking the schedule for the next stop.
We need to move. Go, 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 go.
Grylls literally runs for his life, chasing the light at the end of the tunnel, out of which he barely makes it alive. Number 7. Insect patty.
The easiest way of eating this is to make a bug patty out of all of these things. See what we've got in here.
In-N-Out better shape up their protein-style burger, because Grylls just one-upped the competition.
The beetles, a couple of moths as well.
We all know bugs are full of protein, and when worse comes to worse, better gut up and take whatever Mother Nature offers. But Grylls takes it even further by making a patty full of locusts, beetles, praying mantis, and moth out in the Sahara Desert. Grossed out? Well, look on the bright side. It's crunchy with natural flavors, and you can find it everywhere near you.
Oh.
Number 6. Eating a raw snake.
It's a puff adder, and these are one of the most dangerous snakes in all of Africa.
If there were an award given to the manliest man of all mankind, Bear Grylls would skip all nomination because there is no competition. He has shown his balls of steel by going face-to-face with the puff adder.
But he's gonna be lunch.
This venomous viper snake is responsible for the highest snake bite fatality in Africa. And in this episode, Bear Grylls reminds us that these snakes don't discriminate. They'll go after anything.
The venom in the fangs remains active for hours, even days.
You want to be careful of the head even after it's off. Look, you see the fangs on that.
After a couple of rounds of kendo with the puff adder, Grylls eats it raw on the spot. As a coup de grace, he grills it with a makeshift bush oven as a finisher.
Snake a la Namibia. Let's try it.
Number 5. a nice drink of urine.
You'll need water, but if there isn't any, you can drink your own pee.
For thousands of years, our ancestors have done amazing things with urine.
What I can do, though, is take this off and then pee on it.
It was used to hydrate their bodies and for therapeutic purposes. However, some medical experts of urophagia, the consumption of urine, say that urine has no benefits. But piss off, mate, is what Bear Grylls would say. He has mastered urophagia, a skill acquired by few, but a life-saving one at that. He'll drink that juice up with style and cool himself down with his shirt drenched in whiz.
Doesn't smell great, but this is really nice and cooling.
Speaking of whizzes, he's a wizard when it comes to making water from pee and a flask out of a snakeskin.
I'm all for cocktails, but snake innards and pee is not high on my list. God.
Number 4, drinkable camel juice.
What I'm looking for is the stomach. And the stomach itself is in 3 parts.
Even if he enjoys taking shots of his own urine, Bear's bladder and his snakeskin flask can only last him so long until his supply runs dry.
And the bit I want is called the rumen, where it keeps the fluids.
Burning up in the blazing desert, Grylls remains calm and collected while in search of water. Dying from dehydration is never the last straw for Grylls, but it was the straw that broke the metaphorical camel's back.
It's like a reservoir, this rumen water.
In this insane moment, Grylls stumbles upon a dead camel, so he performs an autopsy on its stomach.
God, a load of stench of camel digesting food straight up my nostrils.
After realizing that the food the camel's eaten has been partially digested, Grylls squeezes every bit of fluid out of it to quench his thirst.
Drinkable, but truly disgusting.
Number 3, historic enema in Panama.
I've collected some fresh water, but it's full of bird droppings and it's rancid. Drink this and you'd probably vomit and risk worsening dehydration. But there is a way of using it to gain life-giving fluids, but only as a last resort. I'm going to give myself an enema.
Apparently, the rectum is more than just an outhole. It prevents poison from entering the digestive system. These details are squeamish enough, but Grylls goes the extra mile, as he's wont to do, and goes full exhibitionist.
By performing an enema, you bypass the gag reflex, rehydrating your body without the risk of vomiting.
Using water that's contaminated by bird droppings, he voluntarily suffers on camera to demonstrate how an enema can be done as gratifyingly as possible, so everyone at home can watch and learn.
I guess all you can do is lie back and think of England.
Number 2, Bear Grylls strikes back.
Berber have given me this camel, and they'll almost always kill an old beast.
Who needs to pitch a tent when there's a camel carcass around? It looks like Bear Grylls is back at it with the dead camel, but this time he's moving in, Nerf herder style.
I'm going to start by skinning this camel for a blanket, as I want to set up camp before nightfall.
After replenishing himself with the camel juice, he goes from a survivor to a squatter. He once again skins the animal for his upcoming Sahara Desert cosplay, and empties out the intestines to make room.
You need to drag this lot well away from the carcass, in the hope that predators like jackals stay away.
Sadly, there's not much to tour inside the camel, but it looks like there's at least room for one more, to make it a slow, hot night at the Camel Inn.
Pull it over, and I'll be 100% protected from the sand.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Ugh, just tastes of kind of guts and pus and brain.
When they're cooked, they're a bush delicacy, and at this time of year, there's plenty of them here.
No wonder they fry them. I must say I've never eaten raw goat's testicles before. Merci, Mohammed.
Number 1, Organic dung juice.
There's a survival trick I was shown by an old ranger.
We're probably all sick to our stomachs by now, so let's find something to wash it all down with, shall we?
One thing you can do if you're stuck out here with no water source at all is actually drink the fluid from a fresh elephant dung.
Once again, water is scarce, and Grylls needs to find another source to survive out in the African plains. Luckily for Grylls, he's found enough fresh and easy-to-access elephant droppings/water supplies to keep him alive. From the look on his face, it's obvious he wanted urine more than anything. But one thing Grylls does best is optimism. It's even possible that the elephant dung boosted his morale. Disgusting indeed. But aside from the rancid smell and the bacteria, it looks palatable, we guess.
There can be harmful bacteria in that water, but if you have nothing else to drink, it could buy you extra time.
Do you agree with our list?
That one's kind of alright.
What's your favorite Bear Grylls moment? For more educational top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.